Hi, I'm creating this video to help people understand how real estate really works in our area. What you see on TV in New York or LA is not quite how we work here in North Dakota and Minnesota. Many people think being a real estate agent is a very fun job that you can make your own hours at. Well, I guess the agent has the choice to make their job as fun as they wish. But I'm here to explain the job, its ups and downs, and what we are ethically and legally required to do for our clients. Whenever an agent has started to show you more than one or two properties, they are lawfully obligated to show you a North Dakota or a Minnesota agency relationship form, explaining how we will work with you moving forward. We are required to show proof that we have explained this to possible clients by getting that form signed. But by signing this form, you are not obligated in any way to continue to work with that agent moving forward. However, when an agent is spending their time, which many times is during their weekends and nights, they may ask you to sign an exclusive right to represent buyer form where you both are committing to work together to find you that perfect home. I want to throw in this example for people to understand how we earn our commission check. We are not like many commission-based jobs where we get paid a base salary, then commissions based on closings. We only get paid once you have signed the papers on the closing day. So in reality, we have spent as little as 45 days and as long as years working for a buyer with no pay for gas or time until the very end. This is why we ask you to sign the forms to actually commit to work exclusively with an individual agent so that it secures our working relationship. I would ask that you think of real estate agents' time in a different manner moving forward. Kind of like how your employer would ask you to work for 3 months for free and then you find out that he's going to fire you and you don't get paid. That's how much time and effort we can put in just to find out that you may have gone to an open house and an agent there talked you into working with them to put an offer in. Well, ethically, they shouldn't do that if you've told them you've signed papers with another agent. But nonetheless, somehow they encourage you to use them. Well, that's the equivalent of you working for that 3 months and your boss telling you you're not getting paid. Starting to get my example? Okay, back to working with an agent. If you are finding that you and that agent are not a good fit, and then hold off from signing and explaining what you're looking for, giving them a chance to understand fully what you're wanting from them, and then once you've communicated that and your wishes with them, you can feel better about signing with them if they're doing a better job. Or you can move on and find another agent that fits your style better. Agents should be readily available or preferably full-time because that can make the difference between getting an offer in on the home of your dreams or missing out. There are amazing part-time agents, but one thing for sure is to find out who is covering for them when they're not available. That can include full-time agents too. There should always be a backup plan. Now let's talk about how the process of buying works. Buyer's agents should always make sure to represent your best interests by advising you on various types of inspections like well or septic if you're looking in the rural areas, on top of the regular inspections, which nowadays includes more and more, including radon testing. We are in a high radon area and therefore these tests are highly advised. I have additional videos on radon testing and radon mitigation systems on my YouTube channel, so check those out next if you're interested. The buyer agent should also know how to creatively go to bat for you in a multiple offer situation. Having an experienced agent in that instance is very important. You don't want a newer agent practicing on you and then you end up losing out. How does this work for a seller, you may ask? A listing agent will also have the North Dakota or Minnesota agency form to review with a potential seller, and then the exclusive right to represent seller listing form once you've decided on the agent that clicks well with you. A listing agent will talk about commission rates, the process of the sale, how they will work for you by doing professional photos, maybe a video tour or a 3D tour for the internet to get more interest. You want someone who has experience in marketing, not just putting a sign and boosting a social media post. It goes way beyond that for those that have taken the time to educate and learn more about those types of promotions. It's a matter of the difference between a few likes up to tens of thousands of likes on a post. Once you have gotten to the point of getting an offer, please make sure to read over the forms. I cannot express this enough. One wrong mistake and you could be leaving the washer and dryer you didn't intend to be with the sale. Your agent is responsible to proof the forms and review them with you, but it's also up to you to make sure you know what you're signing. And even on an agent's best day, they can overlook an item of dire importance regarding the sale. So a couple of sets of eyes is always better than one. When you get to the negotiations, from the inspection or even the appraisal, don't forget that any request made by either party means you are opening things up to a possible canceled deal. What that means is, say you negotiate the repair of the burner on the stove that doesn't work, which you have every right to ask the seller to fix. But the seller then has backup offers that are just as good, if not better, than your offer was. They may choose to completely stop your offer and move on with the other one. Now, just to clarify, this may depend on the market, how a seller deals with this. If it's a seller's market, they very well may have other offers waiting, so I'd advise to be a little bit more picky about what's really important for you to ask them to fix. Whereas if it's a buyer's market, then sellers are more apt to want to get the sale and do those repairs to keep you. It all depends on the motivation of both parties. When a seller is getting close to the closing day, I see this all the time, they become exhausted from all the packing and moving and stress of changing everything over to the new home. So they don't do what was agreed upon. They don't do the repairs, or they don't leave the washer and dryer, or they don't clean the stove with caked on grease and burnt pizza crust. Well, fair warning, the buyer has the right to a final walkthrough. This means the property has to be in the same, similar, or even better condition as it was when viewing the property initially. If an item is missing or something didn't get done that was part of a written agreement, then the buyer has the right to hold off closing until the terms are met. The seller is expected to broom clean the house when empty also, unless it is written in the contract that a professional cleaning company comes in to clean the house or carpets. Don't expect it. The seller should make sure the appliances are cleaned out and not dripping with old food or drink, and the carpets are vacuumed, the floors are swept, the drawers are wiped out, and even clean the toilets, please. I know maybe that's not on your mind when you're packing 100 boxes, but then maybe you should have a cleaning service come in for a little extra money and do it for your peace of mind. Then you don't have to worry about it. So after all this work, everyone is on the way to closing. We as agents need to make sure you've read the fine print in the contract that goes through all the items that are expected to stay with the house versus what the seller can take. For example, we have included many items like your curtains or curtain rods, garage shelving, your TV mounts, and your mirrors that are already hanging from the wall. Making sure at the time of the agreement what stays and what goes makes for a more smooth sale on all sides. And finally, an agent double checks your closing numbers to make sure that what was agreed upon in the contract is what got transferred over to the amounts you need to bring in for closing. Taxes in North Dakota and Minnesota are done in opposite ways, so those need to be verified for accuracy. An agent must also make sure, if a property only uses an abstract, that they send that abstract as soon as possible to be updated for closing. Sometimes abstracting companies can take 30 days or more just to update it, so the sooner the better. In the end, the main goal is to have happy buyers and sellers and agents. I love seeing a happy and thankful client at the closing table. Sometimes there are plenty of bumps in the road that have to be dealt with, But the end goal is to have a seller that sells for what they wanted, a buyer who buys for what they're comfortable with, and washing all that other craziness that happened in between under the bridge. I highly suggest a consumer who is looking to start any of these processes do a search for reviews on any agent they're thinking of working with. Some people will refer agents because they have to, they're obligated to, like family members. So even then, please do your homework and search out someone who you know will represent you wholeheartedly. Check out more of my videos explaining all the different parts of buying and selling, and make sure to share this video to someone that you think may need to learn more. See you on the next video.